right, good evening. Welcome to St. Anthony Village High School. This is Jeremy Donaldson alongside David Kufis. We're here for a matchup of girls high school basketball between the host St. Anthony Huskies and the visiting Holy Angels Stars. We're just getting through the warm-ups. We'll be ready for tip-off here in a few minutes. And a couple of minutes here till tip-off, and we were just talking as we're watching these teams warm up. We're not really sure what we're getting here tonight. We know from looking at results so far that Holy Angels has a strong team, but we're not sure who's here tonight, David.
Yeah, it seems a little bit odd here. It seems like their senior stud, Frankie Vassalero, is not on the court currently. Maybe it's a COVID protocol issue. We're not sure what the problem is, but hey, I think it gives us a little bit better shot tonight if they're missing their stud player.
So yeah, we will see once we get lineups announced here in a minute who is going to be on the floor for the Stars. But as David said, Vassalero has not made an appearance yet. Neither has Grace Massaquoi. So that is the intrigue here as we get going. But on the results so far, the Holy Angels comes in at 5-0. So regardless of who they are going to put on the court, they are going to have a strong group tonight. Even if Vassalero and Massaquoi aren't there, they've got plenty to go for on the offensive and the defensive end.
Absolutely, it'll certainly be an uphill battle, but I think that this is a good night for a second W for your St. Anthony Huskies here.
Huskies do own one win against Richfield last week. They've come up short in their other 4 efforts. So if you're a BEC-TV regular, you know we did their game 2 weeks ago against Fridley, which the Tigers ended up claiming that game by 21, despite the fact that the Huskies led that game at halftime. So it was a tale of 2 halves 2 weeks ago as the Huskies came out pretty strong and faded through the second half. So we do know who's here on the Huskies end tonight. It's pretty much the full complement. They've been being led in scoring so far this year by Emily Nagosic at around 9 points a game. Megan Prisbilla and Annie Bauman just behind at about 7 points a game. And you can tell from those numbers they have been a little challenged filling up the scoreboard, filling up the basket so far this year.
Yeah, you really want to see that team effort, though, where everybody's getting a chance. And anytime you're moving the ball well, especially at the high school level, you're going to get opportunities. So even if you don't have that 1A scorer or that 1B scorer, as long as everybody's involved to get the ball moving, you can really, really see those scores start to climb.
I imagine as Coach Hadler, that's the Huskies coach, has gotten her team ready for this game tonight. Ball control, or ball protection, if you will, is going to be very critical, that they can reduce the number of turnovers. I'm guessing the pressure will be pretty intense from the Stars. So if the Huskies can get into their offensive sets, make sure they're getting good shots, they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think, avoid the unforced errors, right? Like if they're going to pressure you, that's fine, but you can't throw it away when you got open passes to make.
We did watch a little bit of the JV game, which I was, commenting that is not usually, and not always anyway, indicative of the varsity result. I guess my stereotype is, okay, if you've got a really good varsity, you're also going to have a good JV. Depth always doesn't work out that way. But for what it's worth, the JV game was very competitive this evening. The Huskies were even most of the way. They were tied with about 6 minutes to go. The Stars ended up claiming the game by about 10 points, but very competitive game. So despite the fact that, on paper seems like a mismatch this evening, it may not turn out that way.
Yeah, if you keep it close, anything can happen, man. If you get down to the 3 minutes left in the game and it's a 5-point game, those are some quick points. You can really turn things around.
So David, this is your first shot at a BEC-TV broadcast. Cool. What have you done anything in the media world before?
A little bit here and there. So currently my direct output, I run a podcast with a buddy called Min for the Win, where we cover Twins baseball. So you can feel free to look us up anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's MN for the win. We talk all about Twins baseball. We just had an episode go live a couple of days ago. We're getting ready for spring training. But right now, Mr. Donaldson, I am focused on the St. Anthony Husky basketball team.
You didn't even tell me you were going to like put in a shameless plug for your podcast, although I will absolutely vouch for it. I've enjoyed listening to that. Jeff Peterson, who does games with us as well, you know he's a big Twins fan. Certainly some exciting things to think about as we are, man, what is it, about 2 weeks away from spring training.
It's nuts, man.
You know, when it's whatever, -6 outside, it's hard to think about, but I will relish the day when I can go back into Target Field, hopefully here in a couple months.
It should happen. It seems like the Twins have a good outlook here, but I don't want to get me talking about baseball. It's going to be a long evening here when we got basketball happening right in front of us.
We'll redirect. But anyway, so done a little podcasting. Did you play any basketball or play any sports growing up?
Oh, I played baseball through into high school and basketball probably through 7th grade or so. So it turns out when God gifts you with the height that I have, 5'9" on a good day.
5'9" David Kufas.
It's one of those things where your ceiling is pretty low, actually, when it comes to basketball, unless you're extraordinarily talented.
Now that shot, are you sure it's 5'9"? I mean, I'm not 6'8".
Okay,
so.
well, hey, yeah. Well, I got the hat on. I got the headphones here. It might be a good day. I'm excited. I'm standing tall. I'm feeling good.
And are you a Minnesotan? Did you go to high school around here?
Stillwater area high school.
Stillwater.
So a little bit different sized high school, certainly. But
what's Stillwater nowadays? 2,000?
It's got to be. My graduating class was, I think, 700 or so. So that's
okay. So maybe 3,000. Yeah.
It's not small. Well, and then they did a merger, and a bunch of other schools closed. It's a whole deal. But I haven't been back there in a long time. So it's happy to be back in a high school gym and doing something I really enjoy doing here, which is watching sports and talking about it.
So a Stillwater native. Now you live in North Minneapolis, right?
Northeast Minneapolis.
Northeast?
Yep, with my wife and kiddo, who probably doing bath time about now. So they're probably not watching. Maybe they are. You never know. Find out.
Yeah, and I've had one kid go through the St. Anthony sports program. Graduated last year. So softball, cross country, and soccer player.
Couldn't get her on the basketball court though, huh?
She played a little basketball, growing up when we lived in Indiana, but since we moved to Minnesota, that was not part of her repertoire.
Fair enough.
For one reason or another. I don't get it. She was, she's 5'10", 5'11", so.
She's taller than me. That's what I know.
She is taller than you. And currently I have a swimmer. My 10th grader is on the boys swim team. And now the Stars went back to the locker room and now have come back out. So we're just doing a quick scan here.
Right there. That's Lero.
You have a sighting?
Well, perhaps. If the numbers on the
sheet
are
okay.
correct.
So we have a number 1 on the floor. So honestly, I was going to be a little disappointed if we did not have a Frankie Vassalero encounter this evening, and it looks like we will get that.
I mean, no matter what level of sport you're at, you always want to see the best players on the field. Court, field, whatever. I default to baseball. I'll try and prevent doing that the rest of the evening.
The field of competition.
Yeah, there it is. Beautiful.
So we've got about 2 minutes left here of the warm-up period. Just taking a look at I got 2 officials. There's a 3rd official. 2 officials for a JV game, usually 3 for a varsity game. See if they're see how zealously they enforce the mask mandate. As of course you're all aware, that is the way that our athletes are competing nowadays. It was interesting during the JV game. Had a couple instances where players were asked to leave the court and get their mask adjusted. So not sure how tightly we're going to be regulating that this evening.
My goodness, I just got to think it's got to be difficult on these athletes running up and down the floor and having that sort of preventative measure. I get that it's for the safety, but man, you hope that their hearts can keep up as they're moving up and down the court.
Yeah, there are a couple of I don't know if I'll call them disturbing, but disappointing videos out there. There's a basketball game. It's not in Minnesota. I think it was in Colorado, maybe. That there's a rebound situation. Everybody's crashing the boards, and one team gets it, and then everybody's running down the court, and there's just a mass tangle of bodies. And granted, this could happen without masks on, but the narrative around it is that these girls, like, their vision was slightly impaired. If you get this thing high enough above your nose the way you're supposed to, it does affect your field of vision a little bit. So,
well, and anytime you're talking, if they're trying to talk to each other on the court, the mask rides up. It's not a great situation all around, and obviously we all hope that the COVID crisis comes to an end here in the very near future.
And yeah, this is interesting. It looks like, I haven't seen this before, the Huskies are actually using the lower bleachers. So the upper bleachers, it's a little hard for you to see because we've got all our cameras on the upper bleachers, but just to give you a sense of what's going on, we've got the upper bleachers open for fans, parents, not many here, probably 20 or 25, and then the lower bleachers, it looks like the Huskies are using that for their, well, they're coming over here for their bench now. So anyway, they've got all their equipment in the student section, which is unoccupied for the time being.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, it's got to be hard sometimes as an athlete when you don't have those fans in the stand to kind of pump you up. So you hope that they can come out of the gate and kind of create their own energy.
All right, we do have a public announcement now, so we're going to listen in for the
Tri-Metro
starting
basketball game. St. Anthony Village High School promotes sportsmanship and fosters good character in its athletics by teaching trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and good citizenship. Please give tonight's athletes and officials the respect they deserve. At this time, please rise, remove your caps, and join in the singing of our national anthem. And now for tonight's starting lineups, first for the visiting Holy Angel Stars. Number 1, senior Frankie Vassalero. Junior, number 2, Grace Massacoy. Senior, number 3, Lexi Egan. Junior, number 42, Cassandra Karen. And senior, number 54, Rachel Kawicki. And now for the Huskies, starting with senior guard, number 1, Satota Dahl. Senior guard, number 4, Emily Nagosic. Senior forward, number 10, Cameron Weiss. Freshman guard, number 11, Megan Prisbilla. And sophomore forward, number 22, Annie Bauman. The Stars are coached by Dan Wood and the Huskies by MJ Hatt.
All right, so there you have it. We are ready to go, and it is indeed Massacoy and Vassalero both here. Good to see. So I don't know. Maybe they just had maybe they got a late bus.
Could have been a late bus. Maybe they were wearing the wrong shirts.
They were 20 minutes of warm up, and they got about 3 minutes of warm up because they weren't here in the first wave. But hey, that's probably fairly meaningless. So it looks like Vassalero's going to jump against Weiss. For the Huskies, Nagosic, Weiss, Prisbilla, Dahl, and Bauman. Stars control the tap. Looks like the Huskies are going to come out in a bit of a 2-3 zone. Bauman in the middle. Kowicki going straight to work. Gets her own miss. So Rachel Kowicki, first to dent the scoreboard.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a size differential there that's probably going to play in pretty heavily tonight.
So Nagosic facing a full court press there after the made field goal. Couldn't get it in, 5-second violation. So you got Prisbilla and Dahl playing the top of this 2-3 zone. Nagosic and Weiss in the corners on down low and Bauman in the middle. Pretty big size advantage for the Stars as well. That is Cassie Karen on the three from the corner that's off the mark.
There we go.
Dahl coming the other way. Trying to step through, and it is a tie-up. So the Huskies are going to keep that on the alternating possession. A little bit of trouble getting that in, but Weiss gets it into Nagosic. And it's going to be off Dahl's knee and off her. Yeah, looked like Karen got her hand on it, but it was off Dahl's knee out of bounds. So there's the senior Vassalero.
First basket.
Leading scorer at 16.4. You'll see plenty of her this evening, and the pressure pretty relentless.
My goodness, full court right off the bat here.
So Massacoy from Vassalero, and we're going to get a timeout just a minute 20 in. And just like we talked about at the top, that protecting the ball is key.
Yep, you gotta protect the ball when you can, and you gotta prevent the unforced errors. And really, when you have that sustained pressure here, you gotta have your head cool. You got to be making good decisions with the ball. You can't try and force anything when the Stars are going to be right up in your face like that.
So I'm not sure how much I mean, obviously you've got you got the pressure, and you can only have so many. You only got so many ball handlers. You've only got you know, the skill set that you've got to work with. But you see early on, these girls are getting trapped in the corner. Basically got 4 defenders on you when you're in the corner. You got 2 defenders and 2 sidelines, and there's not a lot of good options from there. So 6-0. Huskies coming out. They got high stack. They got all 4 of their players breaking to the ball now.
There you go.
Dahl does a nice job weaving through traffic there. Now we'll see if they can get their offense set up.
Good shot. Ooh.
Bauman chasing her own miss. I think they're going to get Bauman for that foul. We'll see here. It is indeed first on Annie Bauman. Still in that 2-3, probably just going to try to pack it in and make the Stars beat them a little bit from outside.
Oh my!
Grace Massacoy with that was pretty good. Nagosic had great position there, but Massacoy just out.
There we go.
4 chances. Huskies able to weather that storm. Kowicki's going to take that one in and score. Looked like the Huskies had that one broken, but
yeah, one of the things that you
again
see
is just relentless
at that high school level is that when you don't have players coming to the pass, you know, you're gonna run into those turnover type situations. Be interesting to watch if the Stars will keep this pressure on the entirety of the game. It's going to be a drain on the players, you would think, but it certainly has proved effective here in the early going.
They get Egan with a foul there. Some substitutions already. Number 10, Kira O'Rourke, and 15, Becky Little into the game. Well, certainly if the margin continues to expand, that would be rather unsportsmanlike to continue this. But for now, it absolutely makes sense. Early on, you got to assert yourself. Whew. I think of the 6 Stars baskets, have all 6 of them been basically right at the basket? Have they anything from outside
Hasn't
yet?
been no jump shots that I recall here. It's been all right at the basket here.
Ooh, a nice hand there from Nagosic. Got a little bit of the arm. So that's the first on Nagosic. She is one of the senior captains on this team.
Feels like any time a Husky gets a basketball, there's 2 stars right in front of them.
I believe the Stars are going on 3 consecutive state tournament appearances. Champions of, I think they are in section 6. Have won that 3 years in a row. And I don't recall where they. I know that the girls' tournament got like it started it and didn't finish it last year, right? Does that sound?
Sounds right. This year, I think they are planning to have the tournaments, correct? I
Yes,
think they had.
Came out with some announcements this week about that. Huskies looking a little more comfortable on that possession.
Yeah.
Got a good look there from Weiss, but just off the mark. It's Cassie Karen spinning through the lane for her first 2. I think you got to break some of this with a dribble rather than try to pass around it.
You got to keep your feet moving here. There you go, open looks, good ball movement.
It's just not bad. I mean, clearly the Huskies are out of sorts here with the pressure, but they're keeping their heads about them. They're making the extra pass, looking for a good shot.
Yeah, I think the early timeout was a good call just to help settle the troops down a little bit here.
Not sure who they got with that foul. I'm just going to have to, might have been Karen. It's 2 each way now. Number 5, Natalie Zielsdorff in for the first time for St. Anthony.
You're dealing with a high-powered offense. The longer you can spend at your end of the court to keep their offense away from the basket.
I think they're just trying to get their wits about them at this point, which is a good thing to do. Zielsdorff hot off the bench.
Good
and
take.
Weiss with a
there we go.
Pickpocket, and Nagosic going to try to.
There's a lid on that basket.
Every matchup, it would appear that the Stars have about a 4-inch advantage.
It seems about right, yeah. It's hard to get those jump shots up, but there's a shot.
So the Huskies got 3 shots on that possession, but none of them could go, and Cassie Karen going right at Weiss, looking for some contact, got the 2. That's 4 for Karen. That was a little bit quick on the trigger there from Bauman. And that's an extra step that she got away with.
Did seem a little bit Euro-y to me, yeah.
So Jenna Boer a little hop step in the Euro 3. It's a good job to get to the middle of the floor.
Yeah, it does seem like the Huskies are just so eager to get that shot off as soon as they have an opening, but it's not always, the first look isn't always the best look.
It's going to be a foul on Little, pushing over the back there. Andy Bauman did a good job getting position.
Starters coming back in for the Stars here. Let's see if the Huskies can pull it off a little bit better than we did right off the top here.
Going to get a timeout. They might be pulling the press off already. We will see as Stars have 21 at this point. Huskies, nada.
Looking for that first basket here.
So they were we're what are we, 7 minutes in, and they're several possessions in a row there. The Huskies moving the ball around the perimeter, making their cuts, running their offense, and again, none of the shots have gone in, so you can't say the offense is running well, but they have gotten some decent looks. The last couple times, a little bit quicker on the trigger as maybe the frustration is mounting a little bit.
Yeah, I think you can see it a little bit on the players' faces here that as soon as they see that opening, they want to take it, but take a breath, take a beat here, wait for your opportunity, wait for the best possible shot. You got to make every shot count in a game like this.
All right, so I'm not sure what the intent of Coach Wood's timeout, because he is going to keep the press on for now. Emily Miley, number 40, in for the first time, and again, the inbounds comes right to the corner. It's a tough spot to work, but Prisbilla does a nice job getting around Vassalero, and Vassalero is going to foul coming back. So that's the first. No, wait a second.
Yeah,
I guess I got to travel.
It looked like 2 from here.
That's a tough one. So before Vassalero bumped the Husky player, they called a travel. And a nice pick there from Zielsdorff. Can't control. And they are going to get Vassalero that time.
There we go.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Now, as someone who's new to the high school girls basketball scene, is the press something you see often this early?
Well, I think this is seems like it's part of the Stars' MO, and it's certainly an advantage they felt like they could exploit, and they're certainly proving true at the moment. It's a nice dish off to Kowicki. That was Lexi Egan cutting through the lane and did a nice job finding, again, probably had a good shot, but found a better one with her teammate.
Again, always getting trapped in these corners here. It's just they're so quick to the ball, these Stars.
Kowicki with a lefty 3. Nice spinning move from Massacor there, but can't get it to go.
Here we go. Let's get on the bat. Let's get on the board here.
Nice block there from Kowicki as Prisbilla had a step, but the Stars senior denied her. Dahl back into the game along with it's half down.
Can't get much closer than that. Huskies here with the chance.
Miley's a little strong, but Belle Cassidy
puts it back.
Number 12, Belle Cassidy, off the bench to get her team on the board. Oh, and Kowicki's just a machine down low. Gonna have a chance for a 3-point play. That gives her 8.
It's not always just the size advantage, but if you know how to use that size, it's just a dangerous combination here when she gets down low under the basket.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I was noting the roughly 4-inch height advantage they've got across the lineup, but
Height alone doesn't equal points.
The
right?
body position and the speed and the quickness are all just too much at the moment.
Good defense.
Nice job from the Gosick defending that 2-on-1, and Egan's going to get a foul.
Yeah, it's a reach in, certainly.
It's the second on Lexi Egan. And Dahl gets a bump. Is that going to be Egan's third? No, they're going to get Massaquoi, her first. I don't think foul trouble is going to be a particular noteworthy item, but Egan continues to play with her 2 fouls. Not even halfway through the first half, and she's reaching. Cassidy with a nice track back to get that rebound, but again, that relentless pressure doesn't let the Huskies out of the box.
No.
Vassalero working down low. She's got 10 already. Need an inbound somewhere besides the quarter. That's good. Get it in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pass back after it first comes into the court. Oh my.
Kowicki just ripped that away from Cassidy. Nice pass ahead to Kaylee Karen, younger sister. Pass it back to Vassalero. Huskies need to think about going over the top of this too. That pressure is all coming forward, and it's a 10-second count.
Yeah, you think the coach might tell them at halftime, you can't be picking up your dribble here. You always got to be moving forward when they have the press on.
Full unit switch here for the Stars. The second unit comes back on. So this is 10, Kira O'Rourke. 35, Jenna Boer, rather. It's her second hoop.
Jump shot there, too. We haven't seen too many of those this half.
And that is the end of the press, at least for now. I would assume for good, but we shall see.
Good give and go there.
And Cassidy.
Hey, there we are.
3-second violation. That's harsh.
Oh, my goodness. As soon as you score them, they take them
I think
away.
someone needs to tell that. Well, yeah, I can't fault the official for making the right call, but just got to give him a little nudge at this point.
With no shot clock.
3-second call, really?
With
a
no
3-second
shot clock.
call?
3 seconds doesn't seem that much, that important to be calling it.
I mean, if the ball goes out of bounds, you're going to have to blow your whistle. But there's it.
There's some good pressure.
Turnover
there.
created. Zielsdorff going to rainbow one. It's off the marker. That's going to be off the Stars. O'Rourke tried to keep it in bounds, but Huskies will get another crack. So the Stars seem to have moved to a 1-2-2 zone as well. Does create some more opportunities to pass around, and Annie Bauman takes advantage. Huskies, meanwhile, still in that 2-3, and Dahl with a steal. She's immediately fouled by Boer.
Let's get some momentum going here.
I believe it's 1-1, in fact. So we'll see if we can add to the tally from the free throw line.
Scoring points when the clock isn't moving, when you have this big a deficit to overcome. It's not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, baby steps at this point, I assume. Dahl hits the front end. Converts them both. three from the corner. Kira O'Rourke is true. Nice backside help there. Becky Little.
Those long arms here are making it difficult to make any shot near the basket go anywhere near the rim.
Nice run out there. Karen's going to finish.
Stars with numbers here. Doesn't look like they're going to make many mistakes when they got 2-on-1s.
Again, it's a quick release, and it's going to go.
Gets the bounce. It's the touch. It's the touch there, Jeremy.
Nice job from Annie Bauman. She's got 5, and going to get Natalie Zielsdorff with a reach. So now we get Prisbilla and Nagosic back in the game. The Huskies probably could recalibrate at this point. Bauman got that ball in the corner and realized she had some space. Oh, I need to shoot. Oh, and speaking of needing to shoot,
Launch
that was a deep 3 from Karen. Nice step through from Little. Her first 2. But the point I was going to make on the offensive end is they've actually got time to work the ball and create shots. Don't need to be quite as worried about taking the first acceptable shot.
Cross-court pass.
Prisbilla going to go from the corner. Second 3 in as many trips.
They're loving that corner.
Little got a little too deep there. I was going to say getting to double digits was going to be the victory for the half, but the Huskies have done that.
Open look. There it is.
It's 3 in a row. It's 5 for Dahl. And a steal as well. She's got open floor. She's got Boer chasing her. Nagosic going to try her hand.
Oh, my.
4 threes in a row.
It is raining
It's
here.
a rally. And there's another steal from Weiss.
Huskies being aggressive.
3 on 2. And it's going to be a foul on Boer. So that'll be another 1-and-1 opportunity for St. Anthony.
It's a good call by the refs there. Oftentimes you see that when players get tied up, they're so hesitant to call a blocking foul, but there it just seemed like the Huskies had control. It was a good call.
Unit 1 back in for the Stars. That would be Egan, Kawicki, Karen, Massacoy, and Vassalero. Cam Weiss at the line for the 1-and-1, off the back iron. We'll see if the Stars first group can reassert. The Huskies have about I don't know, what's it, a 12-2 run or something right now?
It's not bad here when they keep popping those threes. You can see the defensive approach has definitely shifted. They're really clustering around those starters for the Stars when they're getting the ball.
Nice play. You could see that coming all the way through, and Huskies couldn't defend it. Nice block there from Weiss on Kawicki.
Huskies will take it back on the possession.
Good job from Bauman to tie up Kawicki. Nice job. She had her teammate in the corner and realized she didn't want to go there. Good thinking. Good thinking? What is that?
We're in Minnesota, Jim.
It's going to stay here.
There's good ball movement here. I mean, and this is against the A1 Stars here, so this is great.
Gosick with the hop step. I think the way I would describe Kawicki is intense. She doesn't take any guff from anybody. She is, whether it's 40-18 or 40-39, she is going to play the same game. I got to admire that.
Aggressive to the ball, certainly.
Massaquoi likewise is playing hard. A couple of opportunities there. She gets the last one to go with the foul. Foul is going to be on Prisbilla. You got to grab it and go on those missed opportunities. Don't let them set up their pressure.
Don't give them any opportunities.
I think Coach Wood has taken the opportunity of the little flurry by the Huskies to tell his kids to ramp the pressure back up. Oh, nice little up and under, Annie Bauman.
My goodness, well done.
Got to step on the baseline.
Great body control and got it.
Vassalero quickly answers. So the pressure does come back. Got to keep moving forward. Got to keep moving forward.
Push it.
Just relentless from Holy Angels. So first appearance from Quinn Weiss, twin sister of Cameron.
I'm glad they have numbers, you know. Makes it easier.
It does. I was going to say younger sister, so I guess she might be younger.
You never know.
Might be 2 minutes older.
Jacob Esau situation, you know.
Kawicki wanted the N1. Not going to get it. Foul is on Zielsdorff. Everybody's shuffling around here.
Seems to be a little bit of confusion about the set play here for the Stars.
It's interesting. They subbed in 2 at the last minute, and the Huskies responded in a hockey-like, oh, if you're going to put that person in, I'm going to do this.
Home team gets the last change, if I remember right.
That's right.
Onto the
Job
basket.
evading pressure there. Gosick with a little hook with the arm. Got away with it.
It was a balance technique. I don't think there was anything too physical.
Sure. Oh, and that was to no one in particular.
No, it was 40 here was open, but just couldn't get a handle on it, a little too high.
It's O'Rourke with her second basket. That's where the height came in handy. Zielsdorff tried to go to the top. Fortunately, got the bounce right back to her.
Breaks,
and a nice end-to-end run there,
well
Natalie
done.
Zielsdorff.
Finishes, too.
Under a minute to go in the half now. Second hoop from Becky Little. So the Stars are spreading it around. Vassalero's certainly leading the way, but they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other players with 2 baskets.
You know, getting into the lane for these Huskies has been difficult. But once they're there, they are getting the opportunities. The height hasn't been as impactful once they're in the lane as I thought it may be.
Nice run out. Vassalero doing a good job finding O'Rourke ahead. And the pressure continues. Gosick sliding out of bounds. The Holy Angels going to get probably one more shot here.
16 and a half left on the clock.
They're not sitting around. That's Kaylee Karen for 3. And the Huskies are going to get one more opportunity if they can, again, got to get it moving forward. Don't want to wait and let the pressure set up.
Good crossover.
5 seconds. Bauman for 3.
Hey, there it is. Hits.
So Bauman gets to 10 points in the first half as she nails a 3 pretty much at the buzzer. So we've got a nice symmetrical score going into halftime. Holy Angels on 50, Huskies on 25. We will be back in a few minutes for half number 2. See you in a bit.
Looks like the starting lineup here for the Stars starts the second half. Vassalero tries to get in the lane, gets the ball taken away here. Here come the Huskies. Goes off Dahl's foot here, out of bounds here. Stars ball.
So David, the Stars have had some lopsided results so far this year. Looks like they're not gonna, well, we can hope, not match the craziest one they had so far. They had a win earlier this year, 99-16. I guess technically they are on track for 100 at the moment. We'll see if they get that far, but Vassalero,
my goodness,
picking up where she left off.
16-footer here. It's not usually a great shot to take, but when you have a height advantage like she does, any shot on the floor is basically open.
Speaking of 16, that's where she is, 16 points for number 1. And a little bump there from Karen is going to cost her second foul. Vassalero does keep it in bounds, and here's Kowicki.
My goodness, the give and go right underneath the basket. That was a good play.
It's 10 for Kowicki, and the press continues with a 29-point lead. We're getting to the point where you wonder if the post-game handshake will be a little salty. I don't think we do post-game handshakes anymore, do we?
Yeah, as we mentioned, I reached out my hand to someone I met tonight. It was the first hand I shook. It was a very, it was a weird moment here. I don't leave my house anymore. I don't know how to interact socially.
That's right. You just become a hermit. Dahl with the reach. Picks up the foul. So the Stars started half number 1 on a 21-0 run. Got the first 4 here in the second. Kowicki coming up a little gimpy after that contact with Dahl. Slapping her thigh. I'm not sure if she's dealing with a... Yeah, she's hobbling. So Prisbilla's going to get 2 shots. And Kowicki is going to take a seat.
Yeah, you can tell she seemed frustrated here. I don't know if maybe it's a reoccurring injury, but she seems to know that something's not right.
Nice position there from Massaquoi.
Yeah, Huskies aren't going to get the ball when you got 3 Stars underneath the basket box and out.
Oh, Vassalero using the glass.
My goodness.
Try to go over the top. A couple extra steps there.
Maybe a couple. Good ball movement. Sure.
Gotta let it go a little bit longer than that, sir. But it works in the Huskies' favor this time. I don't know if there's an official standard for how long the ball has to be held, but that wasn't long enough.
Typically, it should be in someone's possession for a jump ball to be called. Even one person's, really.
Yes, that was kind of being juggled amongst 4 players, and apparently that was a jump ball.
The shot selection here for the Huskies in the second half has been a lot better. The ball seems to be moving a little bit more cleaner on the offensive side of the basket.
Dahl did a nice job trying to look for the open man as she was getting pressure from 2 sides, but the angle of that pass made it tough for Bauman to get her hands on it. Question did come up at halftime, is there a running clock rule? We may see that later on, but at this point the margin is 32?
The math checks out.
And yeah, Karen getting a little aggressive there. Runs over Weiss.
Zielsdorff checks back in. Gets the ball from out of bounds.
Hadler's still sticking with about an eight girl rotation at this point. We'll see if she goes any deeper here as the game wears on. Rare miss there for Vassalero. She's looking for the foul.
Yeah, with these height advantages, it's just hard when you're giving up so many second chances, but there's only so much you can do. You know, there are physical limitations to this game.
That's 22 for Vassalero. That matches her season high. I'm guessing she's probably had a more prolific game at some point in her career, but not this year. Nagosic calling for it in the corner with an open look, leaves it short. That's a little pinball. The Huskies got to grab that one when it's available.
A little touch pass there, though. I think that was more control than you gave her credit for there, Jeremy.
Massaquoi with another steal. She's got Vassalero on her wing. Nice back and forth. That's 10 for Massaquoi. So 3 in double figures for the Stars now, and Hadler's gonna talk it over.
You know, looking over this Stars record here, as you mentioned, they are undefeated up to this point, and they haven't truly been tested. The closest game here was a 64-52 victory over De La Salle. But other than that, most of their games have a pretty slanted scoreboard.
So certainly, yeah, Holy Angels, if you look at the Tri-Metro, the last 5 years, those 2 teams, the Holy Angels and De La Salle, have been the class of the league, and that certainly the case last year, and judging again from that result, that appears to be the case again this year. Those 2 teams are in different sections, so they have, I think they might have even met in the state tournament recently, but they both have made multiple state tournaments in the last few years.
Yeah, the Huskies opened against De La Salle this season here. They fell 30-74, so right now looks like the Stars are on pace to hit a little bit higher digits there on the scoreboard. Let's see if the Huskies can keep it a little bit more within reason.
So we got the second unit, Kowicki, back on the floor. That's good to see. So whatever issue she was having with the thigh is not going to prevent her from having another go. Again, that one you could just tell, just trying to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible, passing into a sea of stars. But the Huskies get a steal on the other end. Gosick coming underneath, and a nice block on the backside there from Little. Fair bit of contact on the Gosick early, but nothing called. Nice job from Little. And a little
long pass.
Quarterback pass there from Kowicki. Nice job finding Kira O'Rourke. And O'Rourke gets fouled by Zielsdorff. It's 3 on number 5.
Move by Little under the basket there, a quick 2.
Kowicki with a nice hustle. Read that pass all the way.
He did, watching the eyes and took it home.
So they've dispensed with the full court trap, but they're doing a half court trap now, which is just about as much of a nuisance. Emily Miley from the corner. Annie Bauman, offensive rebound. A chance for 3.
And 1. Well done. Good turnaround.
Cassidy and Dahl in for Zielsdorff and Miley. Little will sit for the Stars, replaced by number 20, Kylie Zent. First we've seen of her. Bauman finishes off. She's got 13. Zent immediately trying to get in the mix. Kowicki cleans it up. She's got 14.
When she's under the basket, she's pretty dangerous.
And the trap again effective, and O'Rourke coming the other way to Dewar. And Boer's got 7.
Good ball movement, just a passing back and forth, take the best shot you can. Huskies got to get some bodies here between these Stars when they're on the offensive side of the ball.
And a little bit of a reach from Zent.
Kowicki definitely the most vocal on the court as well, pointing to her teammates where they should be, being supportive, giving them some encouragement.
Huskies can barely even reverse floor at this point. Getting all kinds of pressure on one side of the floor. If they could get it cross court, they could have some openings, but not even able to do that. Here's Cassidy with a nice baseline move. Weiss with almost got an offensive rebound there. Kowicki goes flying into the corner.
My goodness.
Brisbilla get whacked. No foul called.
Interesting here. I heard heard a little bit of a slap on that one here for no call.
So this O'Rourke bringing it up. She's got Massaquoi, Zent, Kowicki, and Boer with her. Huskies trapping a little bit out of their defensive set at the moment, which is still that 2-3. Massaquoi with a nice little teardrop.
Cut right to the center of the lane there. No one there to stop her.
Got a timeout called from MJ Hadler. So about 8 minutes to go. Obviously the outcome here is not in doubt. What do you think the objective for both sides the rest of the way is?
At this point, I mean, for the Stars, you're probably going to see quite a few of the players. You don't get as much playing time as the A1 starters, certainly. But for the Huskies, I think you got to take this opportunity. Because the Stars are remaining aggressive, this is a good learning opportunity to how do you break through that pressure to have success on the offensive side of the ball. Because it's one of those things, as you mentioned, they're getting caught up on one half of the floor, and anytime you do that, if you're staying within your 3 triangle here, the pressure is just going to be allowed to come to you. And if you can never cross to the other side of the floor, you're going to be running into problems.
So we'll see if that is part of the discussion of either stepping through these traps, passing over it. Passing over it's pretty difficult, given the differences in stature here. Got to wonder too, as long as the pressure's maintained, I'm not sure how deep on her bench Coach Hadler wants to go. Just feed the second and third group to the Wolves. We're going to get an appearance here from Annie Welch, number 2, in for the first time. Now Belle Cassidy working down low. Nice up and under move.
Well done, good move. Working
Couple
the
of
moves on
hoops
the
for
baseline
Cassidy.
there.
And a lot. So they're gonna get a little for kind of sticking her hip out or her knee out.
She took the most damage, but the foul will be called against her, certainly.
She ended up on her back. So Satota Dahl bringing it up. And Zent took a step and then paused and then came, and she just come all the way. She would have had an easy steal there. And Welch got a late call there.
Yeah.
Welch is going to get some free throws.
Seemed that way. It looked like a pass had you not seen where it started. But it was, in fact, a shot. This is the first, hopefully a different result on the second attempt.
Short on both of them. And they got a travel.
I thought that was going the other way, to be honest with you. But we'll
Weiss
take
with
the
a
travel
little
call.
bump, but that might be a 76-31 kind of call.
Maybe. Good vision on that inbound pass.
So we are getting a little side-to-side movement here, so that probably was part of the conversation.
And disappointing, that was such good ball movement. I thought they'd get rewarded for it.
Dahl in there next to Little is probably a foot shorter. And just nothing to do. Oh! Massaquoi didn't even bother coming down with it. Threw it back up. And 4 or 5 opportunities and none of them go.
Long pass.
Cassidy got past the defender and then decided to stop. She did have a lane to the basket. Now Weiss gonna go for 3.
It does seem like the old Huskies are being a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end and pushing the passes a little harder. And you got to think part of it is, when you're down big, you start to free up a little bit. Yeah, victories not in the cards certainly, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be playing hard. And also it makes mistakes feel a little bit less. You're willing to be a little bit more aggressive. Oh my goodness.
Again, a really strange jump ball call. I mean, yes, 2 different players had their hands on the ball, but it quickly worked free and really should have just been a block shot. Stars will get the ball anyway. So Quinn Weiss back in, as well as Stella Kimmerly for the first time. So for the Huskies, it's Zielsdorff, Dahl, Quinn Weiss, Cassidy, and Kimmerly. Few new entrants for the Stars that we'll get to here in a second as well. And a nice block underneath there from Weiss. That was on 33, Elizabeth Pierce.
Oh my, there were more players on the ground there than on their feet for a moment.
So we got Tiffany Double D 30 and Elizabeth Pierce 33 in. Now 22, Jane Nordstrom as well. So Coach Wood is emptying his bench with 3.5 to go. It's off Double D's foot out of bounds. And the clock is running at this point. And Kimmerly's going to get the foul. It's only 4 fouls on the Huskies in the 15 minutes so far in the half.
Good
So
shot.
long
good up
shot
and down.
from Elizabeth Pierce to get the Stars to 80. Going to be knocked. Oh, looked like Karen knocked that out of bounds, but glanced off of Cassidy's hand. So Vassalero ended up matching her season high of 22. And a bunch of other contributions across the lineup for the Stars. Obviously, when you get 80 points, you're getting a lot of contributions. Massaquoi has 12, O'Rourke has 9, Little has 6, Boer has 7, Karen has 6, and Kowicki has 14. Leading the way for St. Anthony is Bauman with 13. Nobody else with more than 4. Long 3 from Kaylee Karen rather. And she's going to have another layup here as well. So 5 quick points for Kaylee Karen.
Coming up on a minute left here in the game.
And Ella Berquist now in for the first time, number 30, along with Linnea Carey, number 3.
You can see here Coach Wood never stops. His voice keeps going here, telling his players where they need to be and using this time as kind of instructive moments for maybe those players who don't typically get the time on the court as some of the other starters.
You got to stop the clock at this point, don't you? They do stop it with 17 to go. Kimberly's going to have a 1-and-1. Got to get the rim. So one final possession, it would seem, for the Stars. They're going to go to 6-0. Clearly, they've proven tonight that they are a threat within Class 3A as the season moves into February. Berquist from way deep. That's not going to count, even if it goes. But so the final score from St. Anthony, the visiting Stars with an 85-31 convincing win for David Kufis. This is Jeremy Donaldson along with producer Brian Brady. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on CTV Sports.